What's up and welcome to Dead with My Friends podcast. I am your co-host Steve.
And I'm your co-host Nick.
And we are fresh off of seeing Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. So yeah, Nick, this is episode 27. We are coming in hot, fresh off of seeing Eli Roth's Thanksgiving.
So let me ask, what'd you think, man? It's been a long time coming.
Yes, we have waited since the fake trailer dropped in 2007 for the Grindhouse double feature of Planet Terror and Death Proof. And I'm so happy that this finally got made.
Me too.
I was a little nervous going in because I was like, oh, what if it's bad? Because, like, I'm not going to, like, I don't doubt Eli Roth, but, like, that poster was not it.
I didn't like the poster either.
Yeah, I was like...
I mentioned to you, dude, the art of the movie poster is a thing of the past. They don't fucking put any care at all into movie posters anymore.
No, they don't. And, like, I was really hoping for, like, a throwback retro style poster for this.
I've seen a couple of them, but I don't know if they were official or if they were fan made.
Yeah.
Because I had seen one that was like Texas Chainsaw Massacre inspired. Did you see that one?
No.
I had seen that, and then I feel like there was like some Grindhouse looking ones, but I don't think that they were official. But I feel like everything now is kind of, especially when it's like slasher films, they're kind of going off like the Scream movie poster look, where it's like you have Ghostface and then you have all the key players in it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, who done it?
Yeah.
Who did it? You know, who's the killer?
Which, like, yeah, I get, like, in the late 90s when Scream was, like, fucking hot and, like, all of, like, the fucking slasher revival after Scream. So I get, like, that marketing, like, same when, like, you know, H2O did it. And, like, they even did it with, like, Resurrection and Urban Legend and, like, all of those posters where you have your key stars. But I feel like in 2023, this is just not it.
It's time to change it up.
Yeah.
It's certainly time to change it up. I'm kind of sick of it too. I want to just see some good posters.
Yeah.
I mean, like, indie flicks are they kind of do it right, you know, because they're in charge of their marketing more so than probably Eli Roth was in regards to this movie. And who knows, like, how much he really cares about it, but I will say, man, Eli Roth is a real one, dude. This was a really fucking good movie. I really enjoyed it. And I'll be honest with you, like, if I could watch it again right now, totally would.
Yeah?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. You know, like I said, I was a little nervous based off the poster, but overall, man, I had such a fun time watching this movie, minus the crowd experience.
Oh my God. This was single-handedly the worst fucking experience I've ever had in a movie theater.
And it seems like it's just getting
31
worse.
years. It seems like it's just, what are you going to say? It's
for
like
me,
getting worse.
Like, so Candyman 2021, that was like the first movie I saw back after like lockdown. And, you know, I had a bad experience where this woman just wouldn't shut the fuck up and just had to keep making joke after joke. And it was really annoying. And I thought like that was the worst theater experience I've ever had. But tonight takes the cake.
This was like a group of kids.
Yeah, they must have been like late
it was like
teens,
a row.
All in the front row.
Yeah. Just just totally criticizing the movie, you know, like, it's a slasher film, man. Like, it's supposed to be silly. It's supposed to be like, it's not to be taken serious, dude. It's a fucking horror movie, man. And it's a Thanksgiving themed horror movie, you know, like, how serious can you really take it? And they're like pointing out the obvious in the movie, which is just fucking enjoy the movie.
All the fun. It's
supposed to be fun.
The viewing experience. And
cell phones going off.
Oh my God.
People strolling
literally,
in
like every disturbance when literally every warning, right, that they give you before the movie starts, people were just...
The one thing that we missed was a crying baby.
Yes, that was like the one
Or
thing.
a kid having a fit.
Yeah. Which I think that would probably have been like the straw that broke the camel's back for me.
I was going to walk out. I told you, if you weren't there,
yeah,
I would have walked out.
I was getting so fucking heated.
I was just like...
There was like that front row of kids who wouldn't shut the fuck up. There was people next to us who came in halfway during the movie and just like sat down and like one's alarm went off, and then like even before that, there was like a younger couple like next to me, and they were just like seat hopping, and at one point, like the dude got the phone call, and he's like talking on the phone. He didn't even like. So I like turned to him. And I was like, "Yo, shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
Like I had enough between the
you
kids.
and some other guy were yelling at all the people.
Yeah. Me and some dude like in a row, like below us, like we were just, especially at like the kids in the front row,
the unsung heroes.
We were just like, "Yo, shut the fuck up, you fucking morons!" Like mad disrespectful. I don't have any patience for that. Like, you know what the fucking deal is. You've been to a movie, like
dude. It's just almost like.
People just don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck, man. And I even said to you, it's just everybody is just in their own little fucking fantasy world anymore.
Yeah,
and
it's a lot of it is just like all eyes on me and main character syndrome bullshit. That's exactly what it is.
So I think what's been decided after this is, I think if it's a movie that we really, really want to see, I think it's worthwhile for us to take the drive to Alamo Drafthouse, because Alamo Drafthouse doesn't play that bullshit.
No, and you really get like the best viewing experience there. So, Ray, if you're listening, we're coming to you for now.
Yeah, we're coming, dude.
Like,
we have a great experience.
Where like, we got like Josh, Jade, Brennan, like everyone else. I can understand for the convenience of going to the Palisades, but like for now on, if it's just you and I. We're fucking going to the Yonkers Alamo Drafthouse.
Because
I've had enough of this shit.
Before we go any further, I just want to give a disclaimer that this is definitely going to be a spoil-filled episode.
Major spoiler warnings right now.
This is the spoiler warning right now, because I'm going to just start kind of like getting into like talking about certain things throughout the movie. So this is your final warning. Spoiler-filled episode as we talk Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, once these fucking kids, dude, like the first kill in the movie, I just want to kind of go there real quick. We'll get to what had happened, but as soon as like the first fucking kill happened, I want to say like that was a great kill.
Yeah.
But they started going crazy and just going off the rails and just laughing at it, and oh my god.
It ruined that very first kill for me.
Me too.
Cuz I was like, I can't focus on what's going on because these kids are just acting so fucking obnoxious. Yeah. And I promise we're not going to sit here this whole episode and dwell on like what happened, but as like movie goers, watchers, collectors, like
they can understand our pain.
You've gotten you feel our pain on that. Like there's nothing worse than having like your viewing experience ruined, especially when it's like something you've really looked forward to. If it's like I can understand the case of, well, I'm bored and this is in theaters, so let's just go check this out. It's like, no, we've been waiting for this movie for fucking years. We finally linked up for the weekend, like, and we want to have.
How long has it been? Fucking
over like I'd say almost 15 years at this point.
15, 16 years we've been waiting for this movie, man.
And then we have a bunch of shithead fucking teenagers who just want to have like all of the laughs and make all of the jokes.
Man, I'm all about having fun at a theater. And
for sure.
Laughing and yelling.
At the right parts.
At the right parts. Yeah. But when you're blatantly and disrespectfully ruining everybody's good time.
Yeah.
For a laugh. Because you're just making your stupid little fucking friends crack up. And you hear them giggling and all this shit.
Yeah.
And then just like the disrespect from, the people who disregard all the warnings.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been to a fucking movie in your life?
Exactly.
Shut up, turn your fucking phone off, and just check out and enjoy the fucking movie, man. I mean, but granted, like, not everybody goes with the same intentions as we do, Like, they're young kids and they just want to be disruptive. I mean, but besides the point.
Got no patience for it, but yeah.
No, I don't either, but let's not dwell so much on this. Either, at any rate, man, I still had a really good time. There came a point where I kind of just filtered it all out, and then I was just like, you know what? It's not going to change, and we paid the fucking money. We've been waiting for this. And you know what, bro? I'll go fucking see it again. Whatever. I'll go see it again if I need to.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true.
Whatever. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I could do that.
I'm not gonna lie, I would not mind going, since you and I both have like 4-day weekends, like, although I do kind of have plans, but if I didn't, I would totally like go see this the night before Thanksgiving again. Be sick.
Yeah. See if we can maybe work that out. We'll go see it again.
Maybe.
It's one of them.
Man. Maybe we like meet halfway at Middletown, and
I'd come up.
hopefully it'd be a better viewing experience.
Imagine it's even worse.
That's where I had the very bad experience with the Candyman remake. So, I don't know.
Another thing that also sucks, dude. Some of the movie all actually of the movie previews, man, coming in 2024, bro. It's looking very, my God, very bad.
It was funny too, because like we were like going to town on our popcorn.
I finished all my popcorn before the movie had started.
Yeah, I was just kind of like halfway through my bag, and I was like, "Yo, is the movie gonna fucking start?"
Because
like
a lot of previews, but none were any like nothing was worthwhile besides Napoleon.
Yeah, Napoleon was the only thing that really caught my attention.
They remade Mean Girls. It seems there's like there's a lot of rom-coms. There was like one Blumhouse movie that looked like shit. Which,
like, no disrespect to like OG Mean Girls, it's an alright movie.
I mean, it's got Lindsay Lohan, dude.
Yeah, no, it's, I think,
dude, I remember.
But a remake, though?
Nah, it's not a movie that necessarily needed to be remade. No, it
doesn't need it at all. I was kind of in shock. Like, I was like, wait, we're watching a trailer for a remake of Mean Girls? We've hit that point in our lives now where, like, that needs a remake? It's been that long.
I don't even remember when
I think it's like 20 years, maybe.
Has it been?
About. I know it was like early to mid 2000s. I mean,
I used to
Lindsay
have a
Lohan's
huge
fucking
crush on Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, this is like the peak of her career.
Movie.
Like, she's probably like fresh off a fucking Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
At this point, when Mean Girls came out, so
had a big crush on her when I was in middle school.
Oh, for sure, she was like super, super fucking cute, especially in Freaky Friday. But
with Jamie Lee.
Jamie Lee, yeah.
I think they were talking about doing a sequel to that. Imagine that.
Okay.
I just recently saw a picture with her and Jamie Lee.
Okay, well,
they're probably just chopping it up.
Maybe,
but that doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, no, not at all. But yeah, so like all of these new trailers are just like fucking whack. Like, I don't know. I think we're in a bit of a drought as far as like new movies that are like, at least for me, especially in the horror department. Like, there's nothing besides like what the It Follows fucking sequel.
They follow.
Yeah. Like,
I'm down.
Other than that, like, there's nothing right now that I'm looking forward to coming out.
My most anticipated movie of 2024 doesn't have a title. I know nothing about it other than Jordan Peele's making it.
Okay.
And it's coming out on Christmas.
I guess for me, Godzilla -1, which drops like...
That's coming out this year, though.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's like the only thing, though, that I've been looking forward to.
Well, I've been looking forward to this, so... Glad we got to fucking go and see it anyways, man. So let's actually I was gonna say let's get into it, but before we get into it, let's just talk quickly about last weekend, dude. Like, last weekend was fucking sick as hell.
Yeah, man.
I came up to Middletown with Josh, Jade, and Brendan, and there was a show at Quimpins, and Servant of Sorrow played, Grindhouse played, Abuse Ritual played. There was another band before Abuse Ritual. Who are they?
Hell's Teeth.
Hell's Teeth.
Yeah, Hell's Teeth.
They were sick. Every band was sick that night, dude.
It's like some good fucking fast death grind. Yeah. Hell's Teeth is sick. Yeah, all the bands, I mean, fucking Grave Heist, like Hudson Valley Hardcore, obviously The Boys and Servant, and fucking Abuse Ritual, just some good, like, fucking heavy beatdown.
It was a great night, man. I'm glad that I got to come up. Now, it's always...
It's a fucking packed house.
It was packed, dude.
Packed the fuck out.
Ran into your sister in the parking lot randomly.
Yeah. Even my sister came out.
Yeah, she came through.
Yeah, she came through because she just wanted a night out. And then, like, foe of the show, Jamie was there.
It's my first time meeting him, and I just
want to finally meet Jamie.
I just want to confirm he is 100% foe of the show.
Yes, absolutely.
He is the king of hot takes, and he is a major heel.
Major fucking heel.
But I think the first thing he said to me was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Yo, every time I die is not it." And I was
He's
like,
fucking bastard.
dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
He's such a shit stirrer, man. But yeah, nah,
But he knew but I appreciate that, he knew that I could take a
he loves
fucking
the fucking
joke.
troll. But
Yeah, he's a troll.
that's it, man. But it was good to see him out at Quinn Pins because like he's from Carmel, him and his wife, and they don't really come out to shows like over like on that area often. So it was cool to see him come out there. Got old man Dan to get the fuck out there.
Dan Boy was there. I haven't seen him in 2 years.
Dan Boy was there. Because he's too old for shows and doesn't like standing more than 2 hours. He said hurts his back. But yeah, no, he
was able to rest up on a fucking on a pool table, and maybe find a chair
and
here and there.
Joe John.
Joe was there too.
So many fucking people were there, man. It kind of felt like a fucking homecoming. It was really sick. I was so happy with like all of the people that came through.
And then the following day, I went to Monster Mania.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a con.
How was that?
It was a good time, dude. I haven't been to a con. What's it been, like 3 years? I think it was like COVID was.
Yeah, right before COVID was like the last time we went to Monster
Mania
Con in New Jersey. Yeah.
This one was at a convention center. I hadn't been to this one. Anytime I've ever went to Monster Mania, it has always been at the Crown Plaza or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Over in Cherry Hill. And I'll say I definitely like that one better. It has a better feel to it. This one, dude, it just kind of feels like everybody's packed in a fucking warehouse.
Hopefully soon we'll return to the Cherry Hill location for Monster Mania Con.
March? You want to go in March?
Possibly. We'll see. We'll see how things are looking.
They're doing it at the Cherry Hill again. So
yeah, they got the March and the August one. So if not March, we'll definitely try to make the August one.
Yeah, I won't stay too long on it, but I ran into the Heebie Jeebie TV guys.
Hell yeah.
They were awesome to talk to. We love Heebie Jeebie TV.
Yep. Scream Team releasing.
Yeah.
Great indie label. They did The Barn Part 2, The Sleeper, which is another good like winter kind of slasher. That's
Dude Bro Massacre, which I picked up.
Yeah, I still got to check that out.
I picked up another one. I forgot what it was. I picked up Heebie Jeebie.
Pumpkin Man looks cool.
Pumpkin Man was the other one. And then I picked up The Barn 1 and 2. And I ran into the dude, one of the co-owners from Error 4444, which is one of my favorite labels.
Yeah, they rule. We're big fans of Error 4444. Is that too many fours? It's 4 fours. I know that.
4 fours.
Yeah.
So we were chatting for a bit. It was really cool to talk to him. I picked his brain a little bit about, the titles and, just shooting the shit about the movies that they've released that I've seen. It was really cool because it's like those movies are like pretty niche.
Very, very niche.
It was cool because I really like them and I appreciate them. So it was cool to talk to like the person who's providing the goods in a sense. I will say that their catalog moving forward looks pretty promising. He showed me a bit of a teaser. For some of the stuff that they're coming out with.
Well, I was gonna say like that pre-order for Scissor Penis and I forgot the other one. There's
Run and Kill.
Yeah. They look sick.
I might just grab them.
I want to fucking. I kind of want to hop on that pre-order, but I gotta also pick up the fucking new Hellraiser fucking quartet of, what is it?
Quartet of Terror or something.
Quartet of Terror, the High Tension box set. Like, there's a lot. I mean, Severin Films is running their Black Friday sale.
Ooh,
Vinegar
yeah,
Syndrome,
they got the Church.
I've got the Church. I've got the Scorpion releasing a slipcover Blu-ray of that, which. It's in like near mint condition, so I'm cool with that. I also do have Della Morte Delamore, and but I have the Shameless Blu-ray release of that. But
does it have the yellow case?
Yeah, it's got the yellow case.
Oh, sick.
But I do want the fucking 4K UHD Severin release of that movie.
I've been hearing they're like doing a road show with Opera. So they might be releasing Opera very soon.
That would be sick, because I missed out on That last fucking release. I think it was either Scorpion or
It was Scorpion.
yeah.
It was
I
like a
missed out on
4-disc
Scorpion.
set. I had it. It was good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
So if Severin does that, I'll definitely pick up Opera.
Yeah.
And they're also putting out the Sect too.
Yes.
Which
I'm gonna be grabbing that Cemetery Man too, which looks like a lot of fun. I've actually never seen
that's
that.
Delamore.
Oh, that is?
Yeah, that's Cemetery Man.
Oh, dude, I'm a fucking idiot. I never knew that was the alternate title.
Yeah,
to,
that's
to
like
it.
the true like.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. My bad.
It was all good, man.
I'm
But yeah,
ill-informed. I had no
that
idea.
fucking movie is fucking fantastic, man.
Cool. Yeah, I'm
Have
gonna be
you
grabbing
seen
that.
it?
No, I've never seen
Oh,
Cemetery.
you've never seen it? Oh man, it like what drew me to that was like I was just on a heavy Italian horror kick and like I was looking for like more Italian like zombies.
Yeah.
And like, but this is just so much
it
more.
Looks like
like
you're gonna get it.
the zombie aspect is like prevalent, but there is just so much more to that story, and the acting is great, and the effects are great, and the score is great, and the atmosphere is great.
It looked like good atmosphere.
Yeah, it's
I'm starting to realize as we do this show more and more, just like how much atmosphere matters to me in a movie.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
you know,
a prime
atmosphere
example
and pacing; those are like my two biggest things.
What was that one Japanese like we watched it last night.
House of Terror?
House of Terror. It was like almost like a Japanese Hammer or you know,
it was really fucking good. It was from the 60s. I think it was from like 1963. It was a Mondo Macabro that I recently picked up, but it had crazy good atmosphere.
Very good atmosphere.
It had some good scares. It had a pretty good twist. I just feel like they kind of gave the twist away a little too early. They could have rode that out a little bit more, but overall it was a really fucking good movie. It looked beautiful. Acting was really good. Yeah, I'm glad I picked that up. You think you're going to pick it up? Maybe.
Possibly. Yeah, I mean, we'll see, but I do love that label. And,
yeah, I like it too. I got onto it after we watched The Goblin, Hiruko.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Hiruko. Yeah.
Hiruko?
Yeah.
So I really like that, and then
Hiruko
the
Goblin, yep.
I was just going through their fucking catalog, and I had seen that one, and I mean, you know me, man. Like I really like those gothic, atmospheric Hammer style films, or, so grabbed that, loved it. We also I picked up The Funky Forest.
Yeah,
and there's another one. I forgot what it was called, but it's part of that set too. It's the second part of it. I don't know if they're directly related or not, but I think like some of the directors may have directed things in it. But we watched The Funky Forest, The First Contact last night, and boy were we surprised. That's an error flick. I picked both up at the booth. Honestly, when those came out, I had no fucking intentions on buying them.
Neither did I.
After having a good conversation with Logan, the owner, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give these a whirl. And I gave it a whirl.
Oh boy, did we!
2.5 hour fucking movie, man.
We were just like, yo, what? How long is this movie? And you looked it up, and you're like, this shit is 2.5 hours. Like, how long have we been watching? And it was like an hour and 45 minutes.
we
still have another 45 minutes of this.
Yeah. And all I can say about that movie is, if ADD could be depicted in a movie, that would definitely be it.
Yeah, for me, it was like, imagine Adult Swim segments with a wraparound story, but just Japanese and some weird
out of pocket
alien
type
creatures
deal stuff that was just like super normal in that world.
Yeah, at one point, like, there's these alien creatures and these students are just playing them as instruments. Like, it's totally normal.
Yeah.
And we're just like, what the fuck? And, you know, I was definitely in a different state than you were, because I had a friend gave me a special brownie that he made. And I was like, what better time, I guess, than to watch this?
Dude, it had you cracked up a bit. There was like one part in it that made you get up out of the fucking seat right there. And you walked out.
Yeah, I had to. I was laughing so hard, so we had established like this is like a very weird comedy, and it does deliver. Like there wasn't one point where like I wasn't entertained.
For a 2.5 hour movie, I have seen movies that were way worse, that were way shorter, that seemed like they seemed like they dragged on way more than that, dude.
Yeah.
Like 2.5 hours is a very long time to keep somebody entertained. And even though it was so wacky, I was entertained.
Yeah, that was
I
it. It was
enjoyed
just
it.
like, it
Glad
was
I
very
bought it.
like, what the fuck am I watching? But also, this is pretty funny. This is entertaining. And, you know, just all the silliness got to me, especially in the state that I was in.
Yeah.
Just having a good time. And, yeah, man, that was quite the trip.
Yeah, we'll have to watch the other one another time.
Yeah,
I don't know how
for
long
sure.
that one is, but we'll definitely have to watch it. But I'll definitely be picking up Scissor Penis, and I will definitely be picking up Run and Kill after we wrap up.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking buy them.
I'll definitely pull the trigger, I think, soon.
Yeah. And, you know, the one thing that I could say about them where it's kind of seeming is like their releases seem like they're becoming more available as the label grows, because I had seen like Diabolic would carry some of their titles. It seems like their pre-orders are kind of lasting a little bit longer, and then when they open up new pre-orders, they have older titles that are available. So that's how I picked up Red Spells and Centipede.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't initially picked those up. But yeah, that label's growing, and I'm very excited. So we shout them out all the time. So
Yeah, we're big supporters.
But anyways, man, enough about all of that. It's been a pretty crazy last couple weeks, but we're here now.
Yeah, I'm still fighting off like the sickness from last episode.
Yeah,
It's just
I'm kinda feeling
November
it
is just
too.
like,
I'm feeling like
you
a
know
little.
what it is I keep going out to shows. I keep like, I'm not giving myself time to like rest, recover, and heal as you would being sick. I'm just still just go, and it's just like been lingering. But so yeah, enough sidebarring about, you know, what we've been up to. Let's get back into talking Eli Roth's Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. Before we go any further, let me just read the IMDb synopsis on it, and then I have like a little cool fun fact that you might appreciate on it. So, Eli Roth's Thanksgiving 2023. After a Black Friday riot ends in tragedy, a mysterious Thanksgiving-inspired killer terrorizes Plymouth, Massachusetts, the birthplace of the infamous holiday.
This holiday season, prepare to have the stuffing scared out of you. Thanksgiving. In the town of Plymouth, Massachusetts, the fourth Thursday in November is the most celebrated day of the year. The table is set. The festivities have begun. But an uninvited guest had arrived, and this year there will be no leftovers. Thanksgiving. White meat, dark meat, all will be carved. Thanksgiving.
Come on, Judy, how about it?
Happy Thanksgiving, baby.
Thanksgiving.
Cool it, Judy. You're safe. Bobby's here. It's blood. Son of a bitch.
Arrive hungry.
Happy Thanksgiving, Grandma.
Leave stuffed. from director Eli Roth. Thanksgiving. You'll come home for the holidays in a body bag.
You know, anybody who really knows anything about this movie knows that this film had derived from the fake Grindhouse trailer that was made for Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez's double feature for the Grindhouse release. So I wanted to ask you, so this movie, did you feel like it lived up to what you had seen in the trailer?
You know, for the most part, I'd say yes.
You compared it? Were you comparing things?
I kind of was, yeah. I just wish that it was shot like in 35 millimeter.
Well, here's the thing. Eli Roth had said in an interview that this Thanksgiving is fictionally supposed to be the remake of the Grindhouse movie in the trailer.
Okay.
Kind of cool.
Okay. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's really cool.
Because
okay.
I feel like what he was saying about it was that probably like what you're saying. It was like shot in 35 millimeter. It was just, you know, very raw, very grindhousey. So maybe they kind of felt like stuck. And they were like, you know, like it's 2023. Like, how are we gonna do this? So I guess he kind of came up with the idea that like, okay, let's say that original Thanksgiving was a Grindhouse film that was made in like the 70s, right? Or 80s. And it was so disgusting and people were so appalled and all the footage is gone and there's no prints that exist in it anymore. And, you know, that trailer just made its way on the internet somehow. And this is going to be the remake of that, or the reboot of that Grindhouse film.
Okay.
So I was
fucking, I vibe with that, man. That's really cool because I had no idea about any of that.
Yeah.
So. And that was like, you know, if I'm getting into any complaints, that was like the one thing where it's like, I wish it felt more like the trailer and it was like shot in 35 millimeter and it had like the cigarette burns and the fucking graininess to it and all that shit. But, you know, dropping that fucking nugget of knowledge on me, like, okay. Yeah, I could roll with that.
But yeah, this movie takes place in, I would say, 2023, present day.
Yeah.
Movie starts out, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but yeah, the movie starts out with these two families starting out their Thanksgiving dinner. So we meet one of the main characters, Patrick Dempsey's character. I can't remember what he was, but he's like the sheriff of the town. And he goes and he is having Thanksgiving dinner with, I guess, like they would be like two of his friends.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And one of his friends has to leave because his job, which is kind of like a Best Buy typey, like techie place, they are open for Black Friday. And then we cut to the girl's name's Addison Rae. And I think she's like a TikToker. I don't really know too much about her, but she's our final girl in the film. So she comes from like the wealthy family, and her dad is essentially the owner of the business. And, you know, he gets to sit home and, you know, have a nice dinner with his family and everything like that. So you're kind of seeing the contrast between like the hierarchies within these families and kind of like how unfair it is with, you know, big business and, you know, the
Making
Black
their
Friday with
employees work on
consumerism
fucking
and shit.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Yeah, and you and I had like a whole conversation about it and how we feel like it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
that's like a thing. So ultimately what ends up happening is the one guy ends up going down to the shop and they're getting everything all ready, and there's like all these motherfuckers outside getting ready to go in, and they're like shouting and getting all crazy and shit because they want to go inside and get their deals. So Addison Rae and all her friends, I think it's probably like 5 friends. It was like one of her boyfriend, his name was Bobby, and then like 3 more people. 2 jocks, one guy whose name was Scuba.
Yeah.
Because his last name was Dybin or some shit like that. Anyways, besides the point. So they're on their way to the movies, but they get stuck in Black Friday traffic, and they decide that they're going to go to the what do they call it What's the center called?
Something Mart.
Yeah, something Mart.
It's like
Right
a play
Mart,
on Walmart.
Right Mart. And they call it Fight Mart.
Right Mart.
Right Mart or something
some
like
shit
that.
like that. Yeah.
So they end up kind of detouring out, and they go and they get like the VIP treatment, and they get to cut the line and shit because Addison Rae's dad is the business owner and everything. And this starts to like really piss off all the people who are outside waiting to go in. You know, they probably been waiting fucking hours. So these kids, they end up going inside, and from inside, outside of the windows, you see them, they start antagonizing all these people, and then these people decide that they start to riot. We had a really awesome cameo, too, from comedian Tim Dillon. I was very happy to hear that, and it was so funny, too, because I was listening to his podcast the other day, and he was promoting that he was in Thanksgiving, so I'm like, oh, man, I wonder how that's going to be. He was joking. He was saying that the movie was all about him, and he was talking about how he had a huge role and everything in it, but he had a pretty small role. But it was a good role because he did get killed.
Yeah.
He had a really good kill. Tim Dillon's kill was in it. So ultimately what ends up happening is a riot breaks out. People start dying. One guy gets crushed. That was pretty cool.
Another guy gets his like throat caught on the broken glass of the fucking
as
store
he's
door.
walking in, and he's
Yeah.
like bleeding out of his neck, but it doesn't stop him from going to find his waffle maker.
Yeah, because that was the big thing is like for the first 100 customers, they get like a free waffle maker. So like everyone's going crazy.
So he
on
ends
this
up getting his waffle
maker.
maker, and then he collapses from bleeding out, and then somebody comes up and rips it out of his cold, dead hands. It had a lot of good comedy, man. This movie, like the balance of horror, slasher, comedy, everything like that, I feel like was really good. Eli Roth is a very funny guy.
Yeah, it's very like tongue in cheek because we know like that's kind of how society is, and it's just like let's just make fun of like how ridiculous like the holidays have become.
Oh yeah,
Because it's just so commercialized now, where it's
Yeah.
all just about buy product deals, bullshit, fucking rush, fucking lines, chaos. I mean, shit, you know, fucking the opening of fucking what is it, Krampus? I mean, most wonderful time of the year, and everyone's fucking fighting over deals and shit.
good comparison.
It's just like that,
Yeah.
you know?
So ultimately, what ends up happening is a bunch of people end up dying, you know, because of this Black Friday riot. But most importantly, one of the main guys in the beginning he was managing the place, who had to go and work on Black Friday, his wife unfortunately ends up dying
Yeah.
during the riot.
Yeah, she like comes and brings him Thanksgiving dinner in a Tupperware.
Yeah, really sweet of her.
Yeah, and fucking she just gets like trampled over, and then like a cart hits her
In the
and like
face.
bludgeons her in the fucking face.
And it like rips her hair out.
Yeah.
And, like part of her face. Like one of the things also was one of the jock kids like live streamed the whole thing, and then it ended up on YouTube. So after all this chaos and shit ensues, we flash forward to 1 year later, and it seems like the town has like since simmered down, but I'm sure like Thanksgiving is a pretty tough and uncomfortable thing for them to, you know, celebrate because of the incident and everything.
Yeah, and you know, everyone's just some people are trying to move on, and then like there's people that are like picketing about the events that happen and like are not over it. And of course, like the store owner, he's like, instead of keeping it closed on Thanksgiving, the store after like the events that happen, he's running another sale
With more security
with
because
more
he had
security.
only
So to
hired
not
two
have
security guards, one
Yeah.
of which got trampled.
yeah, to not have a repeat of last year, and it's just like totally missing the whole point of like why this shit is wrong in the first place.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the motive for the killer.
What ends up happening is we see that there's a killer who's like starting to plot all these murders, and we see like he's got like this big wall that's filled with like the vlog footage pointing out all the people who took part in the riot.
Yeah.
So throughout the movie, he picks each one of them off one by one, and we have some really fucking good kills. So
Yeah.
I just want to say the killer is dressed like John Carver, right? He's dressed like the Pilgrim. The mask is awesome.
Yeah.
The costume is awesome. He is fucking vicious. He is fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I was like, wow, I really like this slasher. He was really good, man. The first kill was fucking awesome. Took place in the diner. So there was this one woman who was she was a diner worker, but she was one of the ladies who had taken part in it. Unfortunately, this scene had gotten ruined
by the shithead kids.
By the
who were
shithead
just
kids.
fucking acting a fool. She, the diner worker, she is stalked by the killer
in the diner. I like that.
And it's great because like he like dunks her face in fucking cold water and then like opens up the deep freezer and like pushes her face to the deep freezer door so it'll stick.
Christmas Stories her.
Yeah, straight up Christmas Stories, tongue to the fucking pole. And she like peels back and it like rips off her skin, but she still makes it out of the diner. And then like
probably some slashing too. There was a razor blade.
Yo, yeah, right. Yeah, he takes a straight razor and slashes her hand.
Little Jalo call back.
Oh, you just couldn't help yourself.
Dude, my man Eli Roth.
Nah,
big
he's
on
a
Jalo.
big Jalo guy. Yeah.
So we got the razor blade.
Yeah.
The straight razor.
Yeah.
So we have this whole fucking scene that ends up happening, this whole struggle, and she ends up making her way out of the diner. And she's running away in the parking lot, and then we see the killer is in a car now. So she's trying to run away, and then she thinks that she's going to jump and protect herself in a dumpster.
Yeah.
But she catches herself halfway, and the car separates her on impact, and her body falls into two pieces. And then we cut to the next day, and the bottom half of her body is displayed on the sign for Right Mart.
Yeah, that's the name, Right Mart.
Right Mart.
Yeah.
Yeah, Right Mart. So
the
killer, displayed her body and
that's our first kill, and it's great because like you see all of her like not only is she separated in half, but like you get to see like all of her entrails hanging and shit out of the dumpster. It's fucking great. It's like, okay. I mean, if the scenes in the intro riot wasn't like enough to tell you like, yeah, we're going there with like the crazy over the top kills, like this definitely set the course for like
all practical effects. I wouldn't expect anything less from Eli Roth.
Of course.
So everything was cool. Everything was practical. So then after this, like the town is kind of like on high alert because they're like, oh, what the fuck is going on here? And then I also want to mention that the John Carver mask is being like given out to like everybody in the town. Like everybody in the town like now has a copy of this mask. And then another thing also that's worth mentioning is I'm just gonna call her Addison Rae because I don't remember her fucking name in the movie, but her boyfriend in the beginning of the movie was very reluctant and hesitant to go inside of Right Mart. He didn't want to participate in this Black Friday shit, but he had a pretty bright future. He was like an all-star pitcher, and he was like looking at, really promising career. So he tried to go and save the one security guard who was trampled, and he gets like hit by a fucking shopping cart and it breaks his fucking wrist, and you find out that like his whole career has been derailed and he like ghosted everybody. But prior to this, we had kind of seen that he was at the diner. He was outside, and Addison and all her friends are there, and she's like dating a new guy who's like an asshole who we meet in the beginning. I forgot what his name was. I don't remember any of these fucking names.
No, I couldn't tell you like
the movie's still
Scuba,
fresh.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you a single like character name, but
So now we have a killer on the loose, and after this we have Tim Dillon's kill, right?
Yes, yeah, okay. So he was one of the security guards in the beginning who just was like, fuck this.
He runs away.
Out.
And then we see that the killer has his name like circled and it says coward.
Yeah.
Because he cowardly ran away from the situation.
So once he sees on the news that the diner woman's been killed, he's like, yo, I'm fucking out of here.
He's going to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, and it's so funny because he's having a conversation with his cat. And he's telling his cat, like, I'll just be gone for a week. Like, you'll be good. Like, hold down the fort. It's really funny.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're a cat owner, you get it. Like how we talk to our cats and shit.
Yeah, you talk to them like kids.
Yeah.
They're like your little kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, it's just really funny. And then like he hears like a noise.
Yeah, he's like getting his shit ready. He puts his passport
And
on the
it's
table.
missing. Yeah, that's it.
And then he comes back and the passport's missing, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
And that's when he hears the noise. And then like it's funny because his cat's like on the counter in the kitchen, but he can't really see what's going on.
Beautiful cat.
Yeah, and he's just like kind of like motioning to his cat, like, is he there? Like, what's like sniff him out for me or whatever.
And then the killer comes out from under the table and stabs him in the stomach.
Yeah.
Then there's a bit of a struggle, and then the killer does like, I don't know what the fuck he has, but he's got like some kind of wire thing he wraps around his neck. He turns his back to him, and then he fucking pulls at it, and then decapitates Tim Dillon.
Yeah.
Dude, awesome fucking scene.
Mm-hmm.
Great
Especially
kill.
when he does that reverse thing, like you said, where he like fucking
back to back, and he like uses like his weight, and he like just
decapitates
him. I was like, awesome kill. And then we get a Tim Dillon head decapitated. And then we had a moment, too, where the cat starts to meow. And then everybody in the theater is like, no, don't do it.
Even I was like, nah.
Eli Roth wouldn't have killed the cat, man.
Yeah. And it's great, though, because he, like, the killer you think is going to kill the cat, but he just, like, gives it
goes
nice
over,
head pats.
Gives it some food, pets it,
and then like, feeds
out.
it. Yeah. It's great. Love it.
So then after that, what ends up happening is there's an Instagram that's made, and it's called The Real Carver, I think is like the name of it. So the killer's name is The Carver, which I think is a really cool name. That was the name of the killer actually in the show Nip Tuck. You ever watch that show? An FX show called Nip Tuck?
No.
Yeah, his name was The Carver. That was a really good show. But yeah, he starts making Instagram posts with the dead bodies, and he's got like a whole like Thanksgiving table laid out, and then he starts tagging all the kids. Well, he's got their names written, and they can see him on the table. So
like
he's
almost
coming
like
after them.
placemats.
Yeah, the placemats,
or like assigned seats. Yeah, for the dinner table.
So they go to the cops and they're like they're showing the detective all this shit, and they're like, yo, like we're kind of like in danger, but there's like nothing really that they could do about it. It's kind of just they're like, well, we'll see what's like going on. So yeah, the killer just like starts really fucking picking off everybody one by one. He starts picking off all the kids one by one. We have a cool callback shot
with the trampoline.
So there was some shit between one of these two rival schools. Our main character, like her school and her jock friends, and then another school, and they start talking about how like there was this fight and everything that had broken out, and these guys had ended up having confrontation 1 year prior. So we're at the other school, and the Carver goes there, and the cheerleader lures him into like this lures one of the guys into the gymnasium, and she's like jumping on the trampoline, and then we have like that fun fucking trampoline scene. So he's watching her undress as she is jumping on the trampoline, and she kind of pulls the whole "you like what you see" type deal.
Yeah.
But while that's going on, she's unaware, but the Carver comes out and he fucking snaps this dude's neck
completely, like just turns his head all the way
and
around.
He's just like sitting there, and his fucking head is like spun around and shit, and she's jumping on the trampoline, and then just like in the trailer, the knife comes through on the fucking trampoline, and as she comes down, boom,
right on the knife. Yeah.
Yep, she starts getting
like
stabbed.
in the trailer, she does like a split, and it goes a certain somewhere.
Yes.
This time it did not, but it was still kind of like, ooh, made you go.
Goes through her heel.
Goes through her heel, which causes her to lose her balance, and then she starts
every time she bounces,
she's just landing on that knife in different parts, like being stabbed. So like, that was like, they didn't do like the true shocking stabbing like in the trailer, but it was still like kind of made you cringe a bit because you're like, oh fuck, like, But I'm happy we still got the trampoline scene. That was a good callback to the trailer.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad we had gotten that. I knew that was going to happen. And then we also have like another scene that I thought was fucking awesome. It's probably my favorite scene in the whole flick, dude. The parade.
Yeah, there was the parade scene
like in the original, another
Yeah.
callback to it, where the carver ends up coming out and he like decapitates one of the
turkey.
turkey mascot.
Yeah.
So we end up getting that in this, which was pretty fucking good. But he is not dressed up as the carver. He's dressed up as a clown. But he causes like this fucking riot chaos, dude, with these smoke bombs. And, you know, dude, even at one point, like he uses a silenced pistol, which I
Yeah.
think was kind of badass.
Yeah.
I kind of dug that, you know?
You know when like in the beginning of The Dark Knight and there's like the heist with like all the clowns and shit?
Yes.
And then like it's revealed like the Joker's like one of like the clowns in the heist.
Yeah.
It was almost like, I don't know, like just the way like he was presented in that clown mask and just like with the silencer pistol and the smoke bombs and I was just like, this is like some Dark Knight shit, but it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. And that's when, yeah. And at that point, you know, he creates all this chaos during the parade. And then he kidnaps Addison Rae, her dad, and his wife.
Yeah.
And this is more towards the climax of the movie.
And there's also a great scene too because like all of the traffic stops in the parade, which causes like, you know, the floats to crash into each other. And one of them, like our main characters are on like the Mayflower.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like boats have that like long end thing?
Yeah. And it goes through
the truck.
Yeah.
To like the one driver who's like a dad with his kids, like, oh, you know, we're in the parade. And it just fucking goes right through his face. And the effects look so fucking good.
Yeah, his nose like splits off and you like see it happen. It's like hanging on the side of his face and blood is just fucking pouring out.
And it's like splattered all over his daughters and shit.
Yeah,
And,
these little girls are like going crazy in like their
cab,
little
just
pilgrim
freaking the
costumes
fuck out,
covered in
man.
blood, man.
It's so good.
It was
also,
so fucking
too,
good, man.
like the Scuba's girl, like, you know, her dad's so tripped out about it. Like, he wants to just leave for Florida.
Yeah, he's like some Russian guy and he pulls up in a fucking G-Wagon and he picks her up and she's like, I guess I'm going to Florida.
Yeah, and she's like FaceTiming with Scuba and our main final girl.
Yeah, Addison.
And the carver shows up to her house and he's like pretty much like got her on FaceTime as he's like, you know, fucking trying to kill her.
Yeah, and this was the first kill with the silenced pistol too.
Yeah.
He goes in the house and there's a cop.
Takes out the cop.
Yeah, there's a cop there. And yeah, he takes out the cop with the silencer.
And then he takes out the dad.
Yeah, and then he takes out the dad.
And they're getting their house remodeled too, so there's all this power equipment. And at one point, you know, Scuba and the main girl, our final girl, get there just before the carver kills Scuba's girl. And it's great because he's like got her hostage and Scuba's like got a fucking gun that he like picked up from some like local fucking dude who likes to throw like house parties for like underage kids and charge them, but is like also owns like his dad owns a gun shop and shit, so he's got like
he's got a
all
whole
these
like
crazy
surplus of
firearms.
guns, so they knew exactly who they were gonna go.
Yeah, so they like picked up for protection since they're getting like picked off one by one essentially or targeted. And when they show up to Scuba's girlfriend's house, he's like got a knife to her throat and like, you know, Scuba's like trying to take the shot and he just fucking can't.
When he goes to shoot him,
the safety's on.
The safety's on and the gun clicks. So the carver's got like a second. So he throws the girl on a table saw.
That's the scene I was getting to is like when he like pushes her on and it just starts going. First it starts
just
with
cuts her open.
her fucking hands and shit, and then up to her torso. It just looks fucking awesome.
And like very creative kills in this, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know.
Creative kills, and they fucking do not cheap it on the gore at all.
No, not at all. A lot of blood.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. But yeah, so then going back to like the parade, like they're trying to set up a sting, almost like a trap to like find out who the killer is. But it's hard because like everyone in the crowd is wearing these John Carver masks, and it's just like, you know, who's the killer, and then he swerves everyone by being dressed up as the clown in the parade, which again, it just reminds me of that whole fucking opening to The Dark Knight, where it's like they swerve you and it's like, oh, there's the Joker under like this clown mask.
Looking back on that scene now, I just see like how creative it was on Eli Roth's part to not make him the Carver killer, because in the twist at the end, you kind of see that the killer played a part in helping with setting up the sting.
Yeah.
You know? So he
and
he
also
threw him off
you've
on
got
purpose.
not one but two red herrings, because our final girl, her boyfriend from the events prior, he's back in town, and you can't help but think he's a suspect. But then her new boyfriend, he's missing in action a lot.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, is it him? So you've got two red herrings, and it's just kind of almost like that Scream setup of like,
Oh yeah, big time.
because you had mentioned like, yo, there might be like two killers here.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
And I was just like, yo, there might be. But the twist reveal of like who the killer is just like totally like, oh shit. Like kind of not expecting it, which is nice, because I felt like if it was one of the boyfriends,
It would have been just a little too obvious.
a little too obvious, and it wasn't.
It would have been like, it wouldn't have been that satisfying either.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's again, so we had mentioned that our final girl, Scuba, and like her dad, the store owner, and the stepmom, they all get like captured by the Carver because he shoots them with like tranquilizers. They all wake up out of their sedation, and they're all like tied to chairs in this fucking Thanksgiving setting.
But don't gloss over the stepmom.
The stepmom.
The stepmom gets a good kill.
Oh man,
this was a good one.
So after our final girl, Scuba, and her parents are captured, the stepmom is like the first to wake up, but she's like tied up and on a platter, and the Carver starts seasoning her. And you already know kind of what's coming.
Yeah.
And he's like buttering her up and shit, covering her in oil. It's so fucking great.
Sprinkling salt and
pepper, you name
it.
And she's on the
putting like thyme between her toes.
Yeah, and on this giant platter. And essentially what he does is she gets up and she like tries to escape, but like he captures her again. And he puts her in the fucking oven like a turkey and turns it on, and we get to see her fucking
roast.
Roast, and it's great. Because when we skip back to like them all waking up, there's like this big sheet
in the middle of the table,
and the Carver is explaining to all of them why they are there.
Yeah. Finally, we know the motive.
Yeah.
Far as what.
And he's still masked, so we don't know who it is. But
he has a voice disguiser.
And we have a voice disguiser, and you pick this up.
It might be Eli Roth. It sounded like Eli Roth.
After you said that, I really started to like just dial in, and I am 100% sure that is Eli Roth. Like his voice as the distorted voice.
Yeah.
Because think about it, he did the voice for the original trailer.
Yeah.
With the white meat, dark meat, all be carved.
Yeah.
So why?
It would make sense.
Yeah, it all makes sense. And I think I've watched enough interviews to like
know his voice
pretty well.
Yeah.
But the reveal though of like the stepmom baked as the turkey, and then he cuts a piece of her thigh off and like tries to feed the dad.
Yeah.
It's so
And he's live streaming the whole thing too.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yep.
There was another awesome kill with one of Addison Rae's jock friends. The guy that ends up actually being the one who took the initial video that went viral.
Yeah, Fletcher or something.
Yeah.
They just called him by his last name, Fletcher.
He's the first one to go. Aside from the mom.
Yeah.
But he fucking clobbers his head with some fucking mallet.
A big old meat tenderizer mallet, and just starts bashing in his fucking brains. And it looks so fucking good.
Yeah, when the head splits.
Oh, I loved it.
Shit.
I loved it.
Yeah. Gore was great. We keep fucking gushing over that.
I can't help it. I mean, that's what I live for, is like really good kills and makeup effects and good gore, and this movie fucking delivered.
So yeah, he ends up getting killed. The dad's tied up. Addison and Scuba end up getting away because she's got like some kind of ring that has like this fucking spike or some shit on it. So that
the gun dude.
Yeah, the gun dude gives. The Carver ends up going after them.
Yeah, it starts chasing her in the woods.
Yeah, and she jumps over this fence and they start running through these bushes.
She wears this special bracelet that has like a picture of her and her mom in it or something, and it gets like fucking caught.
Yeah,
and the Carver just misses her.
And then she runs through the woods. She like breaks her ankle too, so she's like limping through the woods. But she ends up getting to it's like the factory warehouse where we were once before at a point in the movie where they were making the floats and everything like that. But as she's running up, we see that there's a police car, and we see that our main detective, our main sheriff is on the floor. His head's been fucking bashed. He's bleeding. And he's like kind of unresponsive. But he ends up coming to, and then they both end up running into the warehouse. But we see Addison's boyfriend or ex-boyfriend Bobby in the warehouse, and he's wearing the jumpsuit and he's wearing the Carver mask. So we're like, oh shit, he's the killer. The cop ends up going inside. He pops off a couple rounds and he says that he killed Bobby and Bobby was the killer. And then you kind of think everything is all taken care of at that point. So the sheriff and Addison are sitting in his office, and he makes a comment to her, and he says, I couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah.
You start to like think about that, and you're like, what's going on? I'm starting to kind of not really trust Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah.
One thing that I want to say is like earlier on in the movie, we find out that all the security footage for that Black Friday night was destroyed. Addison's stepmother wanted to destroy it because she thought it was going to be bad publicity, but her dad had some backup files. She ends up retrieving those backup files, and then she brings them to the sheriff and goes over and's like, oh, this person was here, this person was here, this person was here, because they're all targets, you know, and possible suspects as well. So ultimately, you end up finding out because we get a shot of these dirty boots and like it's like kind of like that cotton type stuff. I can't remember what
I don't remember the name of like
some kind of plant that like sticks to you.
Yeah, they have like these bristles that'll just stick to your skin and your clothes. And she notices on the sheriff that his boots are dirty and he's got those fucking flower things or whatever they are stuck to him.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit. Because they focused in
when they were running through the woods.
When they were running, they focused in on those plants, like brushing against like her and the Carver. So then it's just like, oh shit. So it wasn't Bobby, it wasn't the fucking new boyfriend. It's been the sheriff this whole time. And then
he makes a comment to her too, and he says, he was like, only if you would have hung on the fence for a couple more seconds.
Yeah.
He would have gotten her.
Yeah.
So then, ultimately you find out that the sheriff has been the killer the entire time, and you find out that his motive was that in the beginning of the movie, you meet Patrick Dempsey, who's the sheriff. You meet the Right Mart manager who has to go to work, and you meet his wife, who are all having the dinner. The sheriff says that him and that woman who dies were having an affair. They were in love. She was going to leave her husband, and she was also pregnant.
Yeah.
So he lost everything.
Which is funny because, like, when taking it back to the beginning, I was like, yo, she's like eye fucking the shit out of this sheriff. Like, I was like, what's going on here? But then, like, all the events happen, and you just at Right Mart in the beginning that you almost like kind of forget like them two, like whatever they fucking have going on. But then it circles back, and it's revealed like, she was with child and they were gonna be together, the sheriff and the fucking Right Mart manager's wife, and you know, him discovering her being dead due to the riot and everything.
Yeah, that's
That
his
was-
motive. So
yeah.
he went on this whole killing spree, and he was killing everybody who was involved. So he ends up going after Addison Rae again, because he's gonna try to kill her for the final time. But what ends up happening is, she sees that Bobby's cell phone is on the table in an evidence bag, and they say that, you know, he was logged into the John Carver account, so he must have been the killer, everything like that. So she live streamed his whole confession because he was going to set up and make Bobby the scapegoat
Yeah.
and make everybody think that he was the killer. But she put his ass on blast. So he gets pissed and he's like, fuck it, I got nothing else to lose. So he goes to try to kill her. But then Bobby comes and saves the day. He shoots through this fucking window. Addison and him hop in his fucking tow truck and they try hauling ass out of there. But beforehand, she ends up like letting like this propane gas go, which
inflates one of the turkey floats.
and then they're trying to escape and everything like that. But once they're driving away, there's like this winch on the back, and the sheriff quickly starts to wrap it around this fucking beam inside the factory before they could fully exit. And that fucking stops them from being able to leave. He goes and he tries to fucking one last time to try to kill them. And then she takes her fucking bracelet and stuffs it into the barrel of a musket that's used as a prop
Yeah.
for the event, which ultimately causes a fucking an explosion.
And she's got a thing with muskets too. Like, I guess
She makes references.
yeah, like that she like fucked around with one when she was younger. Like her dad was so adamant about her how to like load a musket.
Yeah.
This, that, and the other. So it just kind of comes into like full circle. And yeah, she shoots the fucking turkey balloon that's filled with fucking propane, helium, whatever. And we get this big explosion.
Yeah, that was a cool scene.
And you know, you see the fucking sheriff like burning alive, like screaming in agony, and all of like the emergency rescue people like show up, and cops and everything, and firefighters, all that shit. And they're like, yeah, there's nothing but ashes there. Like no one would have survived. But we get a shot of like one of the firefighters walking out, who's wearing a gas mask and holding
Various ones, kind of like it could be any one of them.
Yeah, it could be any one of these that just jumped in the firefighter suit with the gas mask and just got away, which I like that.
Yeah, we never know if the killer is alive or dead.
Yeah.
At the end, we end up having like a nightmare scene at the end. You know, once you know, Addison and her boyfriend are in their house or whatever. You know, there's a nightmare scene. She goes into the just like a closet that's opened up in her room, and she goes in, and then the sheriff get a jump scare, and he's like covered
In flames and shit.
flames
like,
and
tries
shit,
to grab her, pull her in.
Yeah,
But it's just a nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah, just a nightmare.
And that's
And then the movie ends, and then it goes into Where Eagles Dare by the Misfits.
Dude, we fucking
like,
popped
"What?"
so hard. Which I know Eli Roth is a Misfits fan because like he had said when he was like doing Inglourious Bastards, to prepare for like the Bear Jew like intro scene where he comes out of the tunnel to bash the Nazi in the head, he was like intentively listening to the Misfits, but like accidentally grabbed his girlfriend's iPod and like I don't know, there was like some song, like everyone has those days, so he was just hyping himself up in the tunnel to that. But he said before that take, he was like listening to the Misfits, like
Nice.
getting hyped up.
He say what song?
No, he didn't say what
Wonder.
song, but yeah, just to get Where Eagles Dare at the end for the credits, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is Thanksgiving in a nutshell. Didn't
Yeah.
really go through it like play by play or nothing. Just kind of
No,
wanted to
just
touch on
kinda,
like
like,
fun kills and shit.
Ran through the gist of it, and yeah, just talked about the fun kills. And
Dude, I definitely think that this is going to be in my November watch list.
Yeah, moving forward. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, 100%
Yeah.
moving forward. I loved it.
Well, it's funny because like every year it's like as far as like Thanksgiving horror, you could choose like obviously Blood Rage is like the big go-to. Home Sweet Home is like another one that's just kind of underrated, but like VHS collectors know a lot about it because it's only been released on VHS. So that's like another one, and then of course there's Thanksgiving with the killer puppet turkey that is just absolutely ridiculous, but funny as shit. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't take it seriously. But now we got another movie to fucking add in, and I'm just happy that it finally got made. You know?
Yeah, I am too. And I like the whole thing, what Eli Roth said, that it's a reboot of
Yeah,
the Forgotten
that is really
and
really
Lost
cool.
Grindhouse.
And that makes up
Thanksgiving.
for like my initial complaints of me like wanting it to be more like the trailer, but now knowing that I'm like, okay, yeah, I see it. I'm with it.
Because, I've said this about The Devil's Rejects because 3 from Hell came too late and
Yeah.
everybody wanted a follow-up to The Devil's Rejects,
Mhm.
right? Sometimes, man, as time passes by, it just loses its steam, man, and it doesn't feel like how it would have if it had come out 2 years, 3 years
Yeah.
after, like Devil's Rejects. So, I think with the understanding now that it's supposed to be a remake of it, you can kind of just let the trailer live on,
Yeah.
and then we could fucking just be like, yeah, we got this, which I think is kind of cool. But overall, man, this definitely gave good fall Thanksgiving vibes.
Yeah, that's
It was
another
shot
thing.
on location. I looked it up.
Okay, so
It was shot in Massachusetts.
It was shot in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So it's
Yeah,
got
no,
a
'cause
really good.
It did feel like a fucking Massachusetts town, which I appreciated, like the small town and like the fall foliage shots, and like even there was like some winter shots because
Yeah.
it does snow in fucking November,
Yeah.
especially in the Northeast.
Yeah, dude.
So
I think great kills, great effects.
fantastic kills.
I liked the kids in the movie.
They were okay.
I think that
There
they were
was
pretty good
nothing-
actors.
Nothing too special about them, but like they were all right. It was like there wasn't big names to this. It was just like
Gina Gershon was in it, dude. She's pretty big. She plays the mom.
I'm not really
Patrick
familiar with her.
Dempsey.
But besides the point, my whole thing
Gina
is
Gershon was Showgirls. She was in Showgirls.
it doesn't really matter that there wasn't like these big all-star casts.
Didn't need it.
It
Yeah.
didn't need it. This movie had enough of like other things going on that made it enjoyable, which the look of the killer,
Liked him
the
a lot.
kills, the makeup effects, the fucking shooting locations, the plot and the
Good twist.
Good twist. Yeah. It was Eli Roth's love letter to like 80s slasher, especially like all of the holiday themed slashers that we got. And you just could tell like this was a passion project that he did with his friend for that trailer, and they finally got around to it. And it didn't need to reinvent the wheel. It was just a fun throwback holiday slasher film. And I fucking enjoyed the hell out of it.
Me too. So those are really all my points on it. You want to give your rating?
Yeah, I'm ready to go into ratings because it's like almost 1 a.m. It's
And we got movies to watch.
yeah.
I like these late night shoots, man. Like I said to you, I feel like it's like a late night
I
talk
do
show.
sometimes, but then like sometimes like my brain is just kind of like
I'm on the go,
getting-
man. I'm on the
yeah.
go. Let's do it. I was hyped to record.
no, I am too, man. It's getting late into the night.
We got
We're
movies
into
to
the
watch.
early hours of the morning.
So, what do you rate this thing, brother?
I am giving Eli Roth's Thanksgiving a solid 7 out of 10. I think it was a solid throwback slasher, and it had fun kills. It had great makeup effects and a fucking solid plot with a great twist. That's all I could really ask for. Don't need to reinvent the wheel, like I said before.
No.
Cut and dry and a fucking fun slasher movie. and one that we can now watch every fucking November.
Yeah, fuck yeah. As for me, I mean, I'm not gonna go through again, everything I loved about it. I think we did a really good job talking about it. Just want to say overall, it was a really fun slasher. It was really cool to see Eli Roth take on a slasher film. I've always been a big fan of Eli Roth. Eli Roth's a real one, bro.
Yeah, it definitely is.
He really is, man. So I'm glad that we had finally gotten this one. I am giving Thanksgiving a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Yep.
Right
So
on.
we're right on the same page, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's about it, dude. Almost 1 a.m. I think it might be time to wrap this one up.
Yeah, it's time to wrap this up. But yeah, go catch this in the theaters. This is, if you're looking for just like a fun slasher flick, this is
Yeah,
it.
and hopefully you don't have fucking shithead kids like we did.
Yeah. Hopefully you do not have the same viewing experience as we did, because fuck those kids. Fuck anyone that decides to answer their phone in a movie or decides to fucking come into the movie theaters like halfway through the movie. At that point, just like fucking give it a
Fuck
rest.
all of you.
Yeah, fuck every
Just
single
stay
one
home.
of you motherfuckers. Stay home. Do not come to the movie theaters. Go fuck yourself. Go fucking stream it at home if you're going to act like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, with that being said, the best way you could support Dead With My Friends podcast is following us on Instagram at Dead With My Friends podcast. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you stream our podcast from. It really helps the show grow. We want to thank you all for all the feedback on our trip to the archive vlog.
Yeah, that has been a great one. A lot of people have been really
Yeah.
liking it. A lot of people have been
So,
checking it out.
We appreciate all the feedback, and yeah, I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving, and go fucking see this movie. Like, if you're a fan of slasher films, go fucking check out Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. You won't be disappointed.
Hell yeah. All right. So with that being said, I am Nick.
And I am Steve.
Peace.